3 disturbing true college horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Hey man, college can be a real fun time according to what I've heard from a lot of people. I didn't actually go to college, but it can also be a real scary time because a lot of times it's people's first time on their own, especially if you go to college right out of high school, you move out from your parents' house, you go to live in a dorm, you don't really know how to be on your own by yourself, so you don't really know all the safety precautions and things you should probably take when it comes to living by yourself because you might not have ever had to deal with those kind of things. And now you're in college, people come from all over the place. Some people in college are just weird. Yeah, bro. A lot of creepy shit can happen in college. So we're about to go ahead and check out these 3 stories by Mr. Nightmare to see what's going on. Without further ado, let's get it.
The topic of today's video is college horror stories.
Yes, sir.
Whether they take place on campus or in a social setting such as college bars or parties. A big part of a person's college years will be the social aspect. Your social life may drastically improve from high school to college.
Right.
People don't realize the importance of smelling good while networking. People heavily judge you based on your scents, and smelling
this is an ad, isn't it?
Way to make people not want to associate with you. Scent burns.
Oh my God. All right, bro. You know what? I ain't gonna skip it. I'm gonna go ahead and use the opportunity to say something real quick. Some of y'all have expressed a little bit of disdain with how I do these scary videos, which is, you know, I pause and give my opinions in the middle of the video sometime, and in the middle of every story, I give my opinion on the story too. Y'all want me to kind of like just sit there and not talk while the video's going. I want to let y'all know I won't be doing that. If that's why I'll leave the link down in the description if you want to watch the original video with no breaks, no interruptions. People already like to accuse reaction content of being content theft. It's not. It's completely covered under fair use. But if I sit off in the side and just not say shit the whole time, it might as well be content theft. So sorry, like I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm still gonna be talking throughout these reactions. If you want to watch the original video, it's down in the description. All right. Go ahead and unmute and skip ahead a little bit. There we go. Story 1 by Vittorio.
My name is Chuck. I graduated from the University of California, Berkeley in 2016. My college experience was perfect. I was part of a frat, I managed my studies well, and spent just the right amount of time chasing girls.
Just the right amount of time.
Friends with a lot of my old frat brothers. And I recently got engaged to my fiance Rosie, whom I also met at Berkeley.
Okay.
You had asked me my opinion of Berkeley when I was a freshman, though. I can assure you that my answer would be very, very different.
Right.
What I'm about to tell you is one of the main reasons why. I was never overly ambitious in high school. The Berkeley atmosphere was extremely foreign to me, and it was weird being surrounded by so many self-proclaimed high achievers.
Okay.
As a freshman, I was quickly swept up into the frenzy of career development and planning the next 30 years of your life as an 18-year-old.
My goodness.
Silly, I know, but that was the nature of my school at the time.
As I be.
If you wanted to get any sort of offer in the business world, having a strong LinkedIn profile was a necessity.
LinkedIn.
I can still remember the stress of cultivating a professional image online, as if my future hinged on which people I connected with and what skills I listed.
Right.
Regardless, I checked all the boxes and began my search for a summer internship. It wasn't long before my inbox chimed with an actual meaningful message. To my genuine surprise,
is that the real sound of it?
Business firm had reached out to me, expressing interest in my profile. It wasn't one of those
prestigious
messages either.
Okay.
The substance of the message indicated that this was actually a unique message designed specifically for me. I read it over like 6 times before finally responding, and after about a day and a brief correspondence, I was invited to a first-round interview.
Hey, okay.
I spent hours researching the company so I'd know what to expect come the interview, and I prepped myself with all the sample questions I could find. I soon got a message from a guy named Armand Slowinski. I'll never forget that name for as long as I live.
Armand Slowinski, okay.
He stated that he was to be my interviewer, and naturally, the first thing I did was do some background research on the guy.
Okay.
However, excitement soon gave way to puzzlement. I scoured LinkedIn for Armand's profile, expecting to glean some insight into the person I'd soon be meeting.
Right.
Strangely, I found nothing.
Nothing.
No trace of their professional footprint, no social media, nothing.
Damn.
I shrugged it off, attributing it to perhaps a preference for privacy or something like that.
Nah.
Armand and I agreed on a day and time, and he gave me the interview location.
Oh, you gotta meet him in person.
I searched it up on my phone and realized that it was some random coffee shop in Oakland. This is when I started getting confused. Why would an interview not take place in Berkeley? We had tons of coffee shops and perfect places for interviews in our college.
Yeah, you want me to come out of town?
I was just perplexed. The address online seems pretty normal though, so I didn't think much of it. A day before
You're probably thinking at least it's a public place.
I told my friend Riley about the situation. He was even more confused than I was, telling me that the situation seemed fishy. I agreed with him, but I figured it was worth it for the position I might be getting.
Did he come with you?
He asked me how I was getting there, and I told him I was Ubering. He offered to give me a ride, as he wasn't doing anything at the time.
Okay.
I thanked him and took him up on his offer.
I'm about to say, boy, I want my homie coming with me.
I might not even be telling this story if he hadn't offered to drive me.
Yeah, okay.
It was 4 in the afternoon the next day.
That's why you gotta bring the
Riley rolled
homie
up to my dorm. Admittedly, I was extremely nervous, and this was one of my first interviews.
Wait a minute.
I got in the car, and we were off.
It was already
2
4
minutes
when you
later,
left?
I told Riley to drop me off on the street, because
Okay.
I didn't want to be seen having a friend drop me off for an interview. I thanked him, and he offered to wait for me. I asked him if he was sure, and he smirked, pulling out a big bag of weed from inside of his dashboard.
Wow.
I left, then shut the door. I walked the couple minutes to the location.
Man said, take your
and followed
time.
my tracks. I looked up at the literal construction site in front of me. There was no coffee shop. Even stranger, this entire area wasn't residential at all. All
Oh,
of the buildings looked closed or private. Confused, I double-checked my phone and confirmed that I was in the right location. This entire block must have been recently demolished. So recently that even Google Maps hadn't updated.
wow.
I pulled out my phone to call Riley, but before I could, a booming voice rang out behind me. "Chuck!" exclaimed a deep voice. I whipped around and was met with the appearance of an absurdly tall man wearing an expensive-looking black suit. Thank God, I thought, grateful that this whole ordeal hadn't been some kind of setup. His presence was commanding, yet oddly out of place amidst the derelict surroundings. I should also note that the car he was standing next to was a matte black Bentley. He walked toward me with a confused look on his face. We shook hands, and when I asked him about the construction site, he said he was just as surprised as I was.
Okay.
He furrowed his eyebrows and put his hand on his chin. "You know what? Why don't we find someplace else?"
No.
Towards the Bentley.
Ain't no get in. Oh, no, bro. Like, again, sorry to break the flow of the story, but I gotta, bro, what the fuck? I'm not getting in, but on me, if you would have came with an Uber, you probably would have fucking got in. Like, man, fuck it, I already came this far. I'm not about to turn around and just say, no, that's okay, and find an Uber. Oh, man. All right, where does this go from here, bro? I'm so glad that you came with your friend, because ain't no way. You're just as confused as me. You wouldn't just pick a random address, bro. You would pick an address that you know for sure we're gonna be able to use. All right, man.
He walked back to the car and shouted over his shoulder, "Shotgun's all yours." Without another word, he got in the front seat and shut the door. Excitedly, I followed. I walked around the car just to admire it a little and couldn't help but glance into the back seat. I expected to see the beautiful leather seats that you would expect in a Bentley. Instead, my eyes met a sight that sent a chill down my spine.
Another person?
Lying flat on the ground, obscured by the shadows, was a man. In his hand, he held something long and metal. Panic surged within me, my mind racing with the implications of what lay before me.
Hell
This was a
no.
trap. I turned away from the car and ran as fast as I had ever run before.
I'm gone.
I heard the man yell my name from behind me.
Nah.
I didn't even turn around to look.
Nah.
As I ran, I heard the one sound I was dreading, screeching tires.
Oh,
I shot a
no.
glance over my shoulder and saw the car turning around, pointing in my direction.
Where the homie?
I had to think quickly. There was no way I was going to outrun a car. It wasn't like I could just escape the situation. There wasn't really any open space around me, just an endless maze of streets. I could feel the terror coursing through my veins. I made it to the next intersection.
Bro, where's
and
the
made choice that may
homie?
have decided my fate, left or right. Logic told me to just turn left as it was closer. But my feet chose for me before my brain could.
Okay.
I sprinted across the street to the right and darted down the road. I knew I didn't have long, 10, maybe 20 seconds at most. As if by some miracle, one of the buildings in front of me had a fire escape that looked just low enough to jump onto.
Ooh.
With every ounce of my strength I had, I vaulted myself upwards, grabbing onto the ladder.
Okay.
I've never done a pull-up in my life, but in my mind, this was life or death.
Yeah.
I
Adrenaline.
the ladder and kept climbing. The Bentley whipped around the corner and stopped on the street in front of the building.
That's crazy,
I couldn't
bro.
see the driver.
They
but I
really
knew he
wanted
was
him.
looking at me. There was nothing else I could do. If they chose to follow me, I'd just have to fight. The next minute felt like an eternity. The car stood there a little while longer and then accelerated down the street, turning left to never be seen again. I couldn't breathe. I pulled out my phone and called Riley, basically screaming into the phone about what happened. I stayed on the fire escape until he found me. I got in the car and we sped off in silence. The aftermath of this whole thing was pretty uneventful. I sort of blocked it out of my brain and refused to talk about it. even with Riley. As far as I was concerned, it never happened. But as much as I tried, there are times, like right now, when I can't help but recall every horrifying detail of what could have been the last day of my life.
Bro, that is crazy, bro. What the hell? And they were even determined enough to chase you after you ran off. Goodness, bro. I'm glad you were able to get up that fire escape, because you might have been cooked. And the homie, bro, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, in this kind of situation, the homie would have been off to the side, like watching me, first of all. Like, they would have made sure that I made it to my destination. They ain't no just park all the way around the corner somewhere. They would have like parked in front of the building. Like, yo, I'm gonna watch you walk in. And so the homie would have seen that there was no play. Even if I dropped you off down the street, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna drop you off right here, but I'm gonna drive up to where the location is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we would have seen shit coming before it even ever got that far. And if you would have to take off running, you would have been able to just sprint to my car and hop in, which probably would have put me in danger, but I'd rather that than you fucking run for your life on your feet while the car's chasing you around, bro. That's crazy, bro. I'm glad dude got away. Them dudes is ridiculous, trying to get people on LinkedIn, bro, to get them to meet him somewhere so they can kill him. Why? A college student? So I guess some people don't have a real rhyme or reason for why they kill, bro. They just do it. Oh, man. All right. Story 2 by Giovanni.
This is a fresh story happening pretty recently. My family and I were driving to college to help me move in, as I'm currently a first-year student. Once we arrived, I found out that I would be living in a Jack and Jill, which means you and another room share the same bathroom.
Oh, wow.
So essentially, I'd be living
Jack and
with three
Jill
other guys.
Okay.
I already knew one of them in the other room. We met at
Okay.
orientation and got to know each other. His roommate doesn't matter for this story, though. It's my roommate, Demora, who I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I got his socials beforehand, and we exchanged information. Prior to moving in, I tried talking to him on Instagram to get to know him better. His replies seemed dry. On top of that, his profile seems like one of those Discord mods that you see on Instagram Reels or TikTok.
He didn't want to talk to your ass. And damn.
I met him, and ironically, he looked like a Discord mod, except he had a skinny build around my height. He looked very pale. And
It don't look like a Discord mod.
I tried talking to him again. His talking style matched his texting style and seemed very introverted. He stuttered a lot and always tried to end the conversation as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I tried to lighten him up by asking what kind of music he listens to, but he said he doesn't, as music wouldn't fill his cup of emptiness.
That was his response?
When he set up his PS5, he immediately started gaming. It's not him gaming that's weird. It's what he does when he games.
Okay.
Demora makes these weird grunting noises, violently shakes his body, and laughs when he spams the controller. And he puts his feet in his desk cabinet, occasionally grabbing his feet and pulling them towards his body during his shakes as well.
What the hell?
He whispers to himself as he plays by himself or with his online friends, and he usually repeats what he whispered twice in a gigglish manner. He stays in the room 24/7 and almost never does homework.
This man gets too immersed into his games.
Trying to sleep. But there's more to the story. Sometime around the first week, I went out with some friends that I met in my dorm building.
Okay.
I came back pretty late to my dorm, around 1 a.m. Demora looked asleep in his bed, so I nudged it off.
All right.
As I went to my cabinet, which was right next to my bed, I felt my arm hairs get goosebumps and felt the urge to turn around.
Oh?
So I did. Demora was staring right at me with a slight grin on his face. I yelped and said, "Holy fuck, Demora, why are you looking at me like that?"
Like while laying down?
He laughed it off and said, "Dark time," and turned around to face the wall.
Come on, bro.
This creeped me out, and it happened, I want to say, 3 more times. I tried to move out, but my college said they didn't have any dorms open.
Oh my goodness.
I tried to move into the other room, but one of the other roommates didn't want to leave as well.
Damn.
This meant I was stuck with Demora for the semester, and I just had to deal with it.
Some bullshit.
About 3 months passed by, and I come back from my English class. When I opened the door to my dorm, Demora stood up in a panic, asking me why I'm back so early. This was weird, as my English class actually ended late, hence me getting back late.
What the hell?
I asked him if he needed the room to himself, and he declined, striking some weird pose that looked like it was from some anime, and he said that I shouldn't be worried at all.
Oh my God.
I visibly cringed at him, and his statement only made me more uncomfortable.
Not to take away from the story, but bro, why are some people like this, bro? Why are some of y'all so socially inept, socially awkward? Like, bro, I love anime too. And I love the anime tropes. Fucking anime poses and shit while talking in anime expressions. Like, that shit is all funny. In anime. You don't do that shit in real life, bro. It's weird. Like, it doesn't carry over. It doesn't carry over, no matter how much you try to make it. That's why live action adaptations of anime usually suck, because they try to do anime tropes in the live adaptation, and it's like, yo, it doesn't work with real people. This shit has to be animated. Like, even the whole, like, when people get shocked and they go, people don't really do that. People don't really make that sound effect when they get shocked, or people say something, someone says something to them that, you know, takes them aback. No one does that. Or just the expression when you see something weird. People don't do shit like that in real life. The reason I'm going in on this is because I know people in real life, like personally, that really do that shit. And it's like, yo, stop. You're cringe. You are cringe. All right.
I noticed he had a box on his desk.
Keep going.
When I brought it up, he told me that it wasn't important. I shrugged it off. At this time, I noticed that my iPhone charger and my scissors were missing. I asked Demora if he saw it, and he said he had it. He handed me the scissors, and as he was handing me the iPhone charger, the cable knocked his box over to me as well.
Oh.
The box opened, and what I saw made my heart sink. A sticky note that had my name on it fell out. Alongside this was what looked to be a see-through case. Inside of it, eyelashes, a pair of glasses, a pair of my socks, and a disposable photo of me that I took as a joke. He collected all of it up off the floor as he tried explaining the meaning of it, and I yelled at him to get out. He left immediately.
What the hell?
I texted my RA the situation, and he told me that he was out at the moment, but when he comes back tomorrow, to show him the box as evidence so that they would have a reason to kick Demora out.
Okay.
So I got the box and hid it within my laundry bin. I felt really rattled, and the sight of my roommate disgusted me. However, in an hour, he came back. I just told him to stay on his side and not to talk to me. After that, no words were spoken. I tried to stay awake out of fear that he might try to find the box. After it being a long day, I fell asleep around 2 a.m. When I woke up, I saw Demora was gone, and it felt good seeing him out of the room for once. But then I remembered the box.
He got the box.
I went to my laundry bin, and it was gone.
Fuck.
I panicked, and not long after, my RA was knocking on the door.
Damn it.
I let him in and told him the story. While he did believe me, he said he can't do anything without that box. So just be going off my word alone, which isn't much. I felt like I was losing my mind. The RA left, and about 5 hours later, Demora came back. I asked him what he did with the box. He played dumb and said, "What box?"
Oh,
what
no.
are you talking about?
I gotta whoop your ass.
I pressured him to stop playing dumb, but Demora kept denying it. I couldn't stand, look, nor be in the same room with him anymore. It's now second semester, and yes, I'm still dorming with Demora, unfortunately. He did let me know that he will never do it again, and that if he does, he'll let me know and we'll move out immediately. I took his word, and we're still dorming as of today. However, I stay out of the room as much as I can. He still creeps me out. And the worst part is that I can't sleep sometimes, nor focus during the day, as I keep thinking of what was in the box. Why did he steal my photo? Why did he steal my socks? What were the glasses for? The part that leaves me scared each time is what those eyelashes were doing there. Perhaps weirdest of all was he labeled the box with my name.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what the dude was up to. I was trying to put together what he might have been up to with the stuff, and the closest that I can think of is like maybe he was about to make a fake ass voodoo doll and then use the stuff that he had for the doll. But I don't fucking know, bro. I can't put together what he was planning to do with that material he had. So I don't know, dude was weird, and you still got a dorm with him. I'd be mad as hell, bro. Like, goddamn, man. Got another couple years in that thing with that dude. But hey, that dude, Demora, weirdo, fucking doing anime expressions and anime poses and shit while talking, socially inept, socially awkward, and you got a room with him. That's tough. That story was less scary and more just weird. I mean, I guess dude got creeped out by the box, but you know, that's that. All right, we got the last story by Anonymous. Usually these are the craziest ones, so let's go.
This happened to me during my freshman year of college in 2019. I'm graduated now, but I often think about it. During Halloween week, my college had crazy parties daily.
Makes
I
sense.
attended a Big Ten school, so there are always fraternity costume parties. And
Yeah.
even the bars make people dress up. It gets pretty wild. Lots of booze, lots of police, and lots of memories.
Cops probably hate that
That
shit,
happened
bro.
to me on the Saturday of Halloween week. Our football team had a huge win that day. My
Hey!
friends and I were going to this one particular fraternity off campus to celebrate the victory. I
Okay.
knew about this because one of my friends,
Virginia Tech?
Alexandra, was dating a guy on the team. We got to the frat party around 11 o'clock, and things got pretty crazy. Everyone
Alright.
was getting drunk really fast, and we were all booing the school that we beat in different chants while the music blasted.
Of course.
I was taking shots and dancing with all my friends, having a blast. It's critical to note that my phone had died during this time. I had given it to Alexandra to put in her purse. Later, I told my friends that I had to go to the bathroom and to wait for me by the DJ booth.
Why do y'all not
We were all
charge your
pretty
phones before y'all leave
intoxicated
your
at this point.
house?
While I was in the bathroom peeing, I heard some frat brother in the house scream "cops" at the top of his lungs.
Oh?
People started screaming and scrambling to get out of the house.
Ah.
I sprinted out of the frat house and was greeted by multiple cop cars and lights flashing.
Yep.
People were sprinting in different directions. Some cops were already talking to the frat brothers, while others were trying to catch underage people. In my intoxicated state, I realized I didn't have my phone. I started yelling out for my friends while avoiding the cops.
Okay.
Realizing I wasn't going to be able to find them in the crowd, I decided to start making my way home, even though I wasn't entirely sure how to get home. This house was pretty far off campus in a different part from other frats. I started making my trek home, and it was absolutely freezing.
Okay.
Even though it was only October, it was like 37 degrees that night.
Damn.
I'm still heavily tipsy, but conscious of everything around me. After a while, I knew I needed a break to warm up and hopefully sober up. I saw a building that looked like one of the academic buildings I'd heard about, so I approached it, opened the door, and stepped inside. It was pretty dark in there, but a few exit signs at different door entrances illuminated a decent portion of the inside. After 5 minutes, I started to sober up a little bit and realized I wasn't in an academic building.
Oh?
I was in a warehouse. I was much warmer, but I became nervous about the eerie feeling around me.
Yeah, you better get up out of there.
I opened the door, and a pit sank in my stomach. It was locked.
Oh!
It had been opened if it was locked from the inside.
What?
I started to make my way towards a door near the exit sign. I pushed it open and went through the door, expecting it to lead me to outside, but it was to another part of the building.
Oh.
This room was much smaller, illuminated by a low red light.
Stuck in the
Buzzing noise
warehouse.
in the room from some machine. I could see chains hanging from the ceiling and
And your
steam in
phone's
the room.
dead.
I shit you not, it was like a typical horror movie scene.
Yeah.
I went to turn around and go back through the door, but this door was also locked behind me. Sheer panic set through me, and at this point, I was trying not to break down.
I'm not gonna lie,
Up against the
37
wall,
degrees ain't
went
cold
down
enough for me to
silently,
have even
crying.
gone in here. I would have kept
This
going
is when I
home.
heard it. A door slammed shut and footsteps.
Oh!
I instantly went silent and my eyes
Fuck
widened.
no.
I heard another door shut and more footsteps. It was getting closer to my area. I saw the door next to me, and as quietly as possible, I opened it and snuck through. I started wading through the hanging chains and the steam. I heard the door from the previous room open and the footsteps approaching. They were
Oh.
big, heavy footsteps.
Might just be a
Fight or
worker.
flight kicked in, and I
Hopefully.
came near a window. With all my might, I kicked it 5 times with my foot, shattering it.
Okay.
This was when I heard the feet running towards the door.
Oh!
I had maybe 10 seconds to spare. I leapt out the window, not even realizing that the other side of the building I was now on happened to be a high drop.
Damn.
I fell like 10 feet out of the window, on top of 2 recycling bins. I pushed myself off, shocked by the impact, and looked up at the window. It was shattered, and there was no one in the window frame. I dashed underneath some
Nobody
pine
peeked
trees
out to
a few
look?
feet away, hiding myself in the shadows. When I looked back up, that's when I saw a figure looking out the window, looking in all directions for me. My whole body went numb in fear. As quietly as I could, I snuck across the street and ran. I ran for my life as fast as I could, for I didn't know how long until I recognized the side of campus my dorm was on.
Okay.
I got back to my dorm, and my friends were waiting for me outside, panicked and freaking out. They told me I had been gone for almost 4 hours.
Damn!
The following day, I told them of my experience. My friends' mouths hung open as they listened to me talk. After further discussion, I discovered that it was a building that hadn't been used in several years. The hit in my stomach hit me again.
I was gonna say there might have been a
Whoever was in the building
worker.
wasn't a cop. He wasn't night security. This was some random person after me. It still makes me sick to this day. If I hadn't been more quiet or thought as quickly, I could be dead.
Could be.
Even though I tried to find out information, nothing came up. It still remains the scariest thing that's ever happened to me.
Bruh. And you want to be logical and be like, yo, maybe that was just a squatter. Maybe it was just some homeless dude or something staying inside that building that, you know, heard me and wanted to just run to me and see what was going on. But there's a chance that it wasn't. I don't know, bruh. That is crazy, dog. They started sprinting towards your ass quick as hell. How did he get in if it was locked from the inside? I don't understand, bruh. That don't make no sense. For you to be able to open the door from the outside, but not the inside again. Maybe it was already cracked. Maybe that dude was just waiting on somebody to do that shit. I don't know, bruh. But I'm glad homie got away, man. Hey, man, these were 3 true college horror stories. These horror stories was crazy as hell, bruh. Mr. Nightmare always comes with the dopest stories. So we're gonna go ahead and continue to check out Mr. Nightmare whenever he drops another one. Make sure y'all show a lot of love to the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave me suggestions down in the comments below. And until next time, we up out of this thing. It's your boy Dairu, we signing out. Hey.